Most brand owners believe they have a marketing problem, but the truth is much simpler and much more painful. They have an identity problem. To give you a little context, my name is Gustav. I'm founder of Studio Room 3 in Copenhagen. The last 5 years, I've been working with more than 300 brands across the world, from Japan to the US, from small lifestyle startups to established brands. And along the way, I built my brands on my own. We've been featured in GQ, WWD, Echelon, and more. Our piece has been worn by artists like Central C, Sway Lee, and several others. So everything I share with you today doesn't come from theory, it comes from doing it myself, failing, learning, and rebuilding. But enough of that. The point is, after all those brands, I discovered something most people never see. Brands don't fail because their ads are bad or because their product isn't good enough. They fail because their foundation is invincible, weak, and undefined. They try to scale with tactics on top of chaos. It's like building a luxury house on sand. In a saturated market, the brands who win are not the ones with the best products, but the ones with the clearest emotional identity. Because when everything looks the same, emotion becomes the only real competitive advantage left. Today, I want to show you the exact psychological frameworks that the strongest lifestyle, fashion, and accessory brands use to grow in markets where everything else already exists, and why 99% of the brands you compete with don't stand a chance. Here's something that no agency tells you, and most of them actually don't even understand, unless they operate at a very high level. Most brands only speak to the smallest part of the market, the people who are already in the market, ready to buy. And to give you a deeper understanding of this, I need to give you a quick rundown of the different awareness stages that people go through, and it goes like this. The 3% of the market, what we call most aware, the people who are ready to buy right now. 7% of the market, the product aware, people who are comparing brands, looking for the best fit, best deal, etc. 30% of the market, solution aware, knows the category exists and is searching, but don't know where to go. 30% of the market, problem aware, and this is where it gets interesting for scaling. This is where scaling truly begins. They feel discomfort, the gap between who they are and who they want to become. They want to feel cooler, more grounded, more self realized, but they don't know the solution just yet. They don't know your product, a pair of shoes, a bag, some clothes, something that could be their new identity. And this could be the missing piece for them. So here we don't sell, we show through personas, aesthetic, and universes that reflects the person they want to grow into, subtly teaching them that we are the solution to the problem they just discovered. 30% unaware. They don't know they need you. They don't even know you exist. This is where emotion and identity matters the most, where you show people a problem they never even realized was theirs. Most brands communicate to 10 around 40% and ignore the remaining 60%, the places where all future growth lives. If you only talk to people who are ready to buy right now, you're not building demand. You're competing for leftovers. Real scale happens when you speak to the people who don't know you yet, don't know the category, don't know they have a problem, and don't think they need you. And that's where desire is born. And most founders try to fix their funnel by adding more traffic, but traffic doesn't fix a weak communication. You need emotional relevance before you need reach. Most people get this backwards. You wouldn't build a house without a blueprint, and you would never invite people into a store that's dusty, unpolished, or covered in spiderwebs. So why drive traffic to your brand if your online presence isn't refined, intentional, and beautiful? When a market hits level 5 sophistication, which almost every lifestyle brands are in today, features stop mattering. Your product already exists. It has existed for 10 plus years. So why should anyone choose you? And this is exactly why most brands stagnate. They still try to differentiate logically in a world where customers decide emotionally. And the answer is pretty simple: emotion, identity, meaning, and aspiration. Look at Apple. Early iPhone ads was all about features, touchscreen, camera, storage. But today, they don't sell features at all. They sell identity, feeling, belonging. Who are you when you own this? If one of the biggest brands with one of the best products on the planet doesn't sell features anymore, why are you still? It's never the bracelet, it's the man wearing it and who he feels like with it on. It's never the sweater, it's the version of yourself you step into when you wear the sweater. Branding is not aesthetics, branding is engineering desire, built with emotional truth. And the moment you create emotional desire, you remove yourself from price competing. You stop fighting for attention and start owning perception. We start long before the camera. We dive into your identity, your photography, your foundation. We help you define your ICP, ideal customer persona, tone of voice, brand guidelines, emotional core, narrative, visual universe, psychological positioning, and the story your customers want to see themselves inside. We study your category, your competitors, your emotional blind spots, and then we rebuild your world from the ground up. The way we work at Studio Room 3 is very different from traditional content studios. We don't just create beautiful content and nice pictures, we build emotional universes. Most studios focus on visuals, we focus on meaning, and this is exactly why our brands scale. We speak to 60% of the market no one else touches. The people who don't respond to ads but respond to identity, emotion, and belonging. Because when your content carries emotional truth, you don't chase customers. They recognize themselves in your world. This is not just pretty content, nice pictures, or a quick reel for Instagram. This is strategy, cinematic, psychological driven communication designed to speak directly to your audience's subconscious desires. Content that makes people say, "This is me. This is the world I want to belong to. This brand understands me better than I understand myself." Here's something most founders don't know. 80% of your ad performance come from your content, not your media buying. Ads are the fuel, content is the engine. If your content is weak, ads simply just show people something that doesn't even work. If your content is powerful, your ads print money. Because people don't convert on logic, they convert when something hits them emotionally and make them rethink who they want to be. We don't create content that looks good, we create content that carries identity, psychology, and aspiration. Content that scales, content that builds trust, content that sells without ever looking like it's selling. I said this many times, but I really want to emphasize it. Most brands speaks only to people who already want the product, but real scale comes from the top funnel, the people who don't know you, don't think about you, don't think they need you, don't know your category, and aren't even shopping for anything. If you can make them feel something, you win the category. Aspirational lifestyle content is not decoration, it's a strategic weapon. You're not selling the product, you're selling the feeling of belonging to the world around the product. It's how you reach the 60% that doesn't know they need you and transform them into future customers months before they even consider buying. Look at Rolex, for example. Rolex doesn't sponsor FIFA, the biggest sports event in the world, but they do sponsor Wimbledon, not because of reach, but because of alignment. Because Wimbledon target their ideal customer avatar and audience and sends the right signals around luxury, it's not for everyone, it's for the few selected with a certain lifestyle. Exactly as we perceive Rolex. This sends the right brand signals, gives the right status, target the right people, because branding is not about shouting louder, it's about whispering to the right people, and these people will simply just lean in. Luxury brands grow not by being everywhere, but by being perfectly aligned with the identity their customers aspire to. You don't need everyone, you need the right people to feel something deep. And when they see your world, as Seth Godin beautifully said, if you try to speak to everyone, you speak to no one. Most branders are too close to their own brand. They know what they do, but they don't know how it feels. Our job is simple. We reveal the dreams inside your product. We take what you think you're selling and transform it into a world people want to belong to. A world where your product isn't the message, it's the symbol. This is how brands escape saturation, not by adding more products, but by adding more meaning. If you've been running ads, posting content, trying new strategies, and it still feels like you're not growing, it's not your marketing, it's your identity, and identity is the part that nobody teaches, but everyone judges. If you're ready to stop playing small, if you're tired of throwing money away on broken foundations, and if you want to build a brand that lasts, book a free brand analysis with me personally. We'll show you exactly where your emotional gaps are, where your identity is leaking power, and how to build a universe people don't just buy from, they belong to. This is the part of branding most people never understand, but it's the part that separates brands that fade from brands that becomes culture. I'm Gustav from Studio Room 3. Let's build something iconic. All great things starts with a small conversation, so book your introduction call with me and we can see if we're the right fit for each other. We only work with a few selected brands at a time, so let's open up for the conversation. Looking forward to hearing from you.